Hey everybody, welcome to the live stream. Hope you guys are having a great time. Haven't seen you all in a while, 2 weeks. I've been busy doing my stuff, so I came back today with a really fun topic. It's about Halloween. um, Let me adjust this real quick so we can see everything. That looks good. And this side here looks pretty good to me. Perfect. How's everybody doing? Hope you guys are enjoying the programming um, of the channel. And if you're new, welcome. I'm just double checking to make sure that this live stream is okay. As you can see, we got. Let's see here if this works. YouTube, for my channel, live. Awesome, perfect. All right, welcome. I actually kind of missed this live streaming stuff. It gets fun, right? Especially when you have a fun topic, which is what we're doing today. Okay, so let's talk. This is what is this? Allow system, private window picker, blah, blah, allow for 1 month. So this is a scene from Shanghai. Now, Shanghai has effectively banned Halloween. Now, some people are saying, oh, you can still do Halloween, you can celebrate Halloween. It's just that you cannot wear different costumes that are too sensitive, right? Quote unquote, too sensitive. So they've sent out troves of cops and they've set up barricades. This is one of the photos. And they got like cops with the yellow vests all over town, but in particular in two streets. So this is one of the corner streets, and this is just, you got cops like lined up on the street. It's raining really hard right now in Shanghai. And they really sent out the entire gang, right? So you're not allowed to do this. But from the messages in the chats, what we noticed is that it's concentrated really in two different places. One of them is called Ru Retard, not the other word, our word, and the other one is Changlelu Road, which is like another popular street. Okay, so what they've done is even like a few days ago, they started telling people you can't dress up, but this has really angered the younger people in this crowd in Shanghai. So I'll show you this video here. This is the daytime view. I see the yellow barricades are up, and they've set up like all sorts of zones that you're not supposed to go in and wear a costume. So everything's like empty. So all these areas are supposed to have people in costume, but I guess they really didn't want people this year. And I'll explain why later. So kind of reminds people of like the COVID situation, right? Back then. Obviously Halloween is a Western holiday in China, but people have been using Western holidays to express their political dissatisfaction with the regime, which is why Halloween became a really expressive way for them, right? So from K Anwar says, can I ask, why do Chinese people seem so cold? I've recently moved to Malaysia and it's difficult to extract even a smile from them. Do they socialize outside of their own ethnic nation? A lot of Chinese people, the reason they don't smile is they've developed this like social alienation among themselves because they think people are out to get them, but also because a lot of them have a lot on their minds all the time. You're constantly trying to get one off another, right? So you're trying to be better than another person. That makes it really difficult for people to smile. Mario says, I'm glad you're black, David. I thought you became a prisoner of CCP. I think you mean I'm glad you're back, right? They just trying to stop Winnie the Pooh costumes. You're so right. Okay, so essentially, according to the descriptions here, I'm going to just briefly translate for you guys, because obviously I know most of you don't read Chinese. Basically, so this guy, he went to one of the streets that they're not allowed to. All the cops started showing up, and maybe so he's thinking maybe there's too many people, right? So you need people to keep orders. But then what they saw was that they basically didn't allow anybody to cosplay. And then every street apparently is not allowed to cosplay except for one amusement park, which is it's a government-sponsored amusement park. And so a lot of people are waiting, and it's raining. Oops, I think. So these are just text. I will skip the text because it obviously doesn't really, it's hard to explain. But this is one of the shots that they took in the car. You know, you got like all sorts of different security personnel on the street to stop people from dressing up. That's the crazy part, to stop people from dressing up. Okay, and then so we arrive at, so these are all just like notices and stuff, so I won't read them, but basically they're telling people to not, go and dress up. Another picture, you see all of these vans are police vans on the side here. On the other street as well. The big bus here, that's also a police bus. Here you got the special police, the SWAT team. Here in the black vans. You got people at every turn and every corner. You got cops watching. And this was a picture we saw before. So these are people, again, they're costume donning regular people, right? They're not criminals. And then this was one of the pictures we saw before. This is all before Halloween even arrived, by the way. It's the 26th today. So we're 5 days from Halloween, and they've already been doing this. So this is just the amount of people on the street, right? Cars we saw earlier today. And then this video was pretty shocking because, look. So basically, anybody that wears a costume is going to get turned away from by the police. Uma says, how come they don't disappear you? Because I live in a free country. Ghost of Qinggang. Yeah, exactly. So there's just people telling them that this guy, he owns a pub in the area. And he says that nobody is allowed to wear any Halloween costume. So here's the translation. I'll put that up so you can read it yourself. So basically, this guy is not allowed to host anybody that wears costumes. They're not allowed in the bar. And then no strange costumes allowed in the store. Otherwise, it will be closed for rectification, which basically means they'll shut you down. They'll shut your business down if you wear any like politically incentivize, like if you're incentivizing any sort of a public protest of some sort, right? They will close down the store if you allow them inside. Okay, so this is all before Halloween, like really, it's even started. But then obviously the young people, they didn't listen, right? So this year you got somebody dressed in the COVID guard, those guys with the white garb overalls and the masks doing the COVID tests. You got people already doing that, right? Like this in itself, the costume in itself is already a form of protest. So they got those going. And then you have, let's see if we have more. So this is, again, from before. This was the video we saw, so I'll just, because I had a lot of them like up so that I can show you guys. Yeah, this is all repeats, so I'm just going to quickly get rid of them. You had people dress up as the emperors of China. So these guys got escorted out by the cops for dressing up as emperor and empress of China. Pretty funny. They should all coordinate and dress like Paladin Cheng. From 666 VP says, thank you for doing what you do. We all appreciate it. Show the truth. Thank you very much. What was your question, Mr. Zaki? Can you write your question one more time? Okay, so we got the emperor. The emperor got shut down. Let's see if I have more. So the same video again. Okay, so this was last year. Okay, the reason why things got out of hand is because this happened last year. You got people like dressed up in this. You have people dressed with the white paper from the white paper protest. You had people who dressed up as Winnie the Pooh. So obviously this is a terrible thing for the government, right? Somebody dressed up as Winnie the Pooh. And what else do you have? Yeah, you have somebody dressed as the funeral wreath that they put up in China. So it's just a lot of this, like, it's not really even politically motivated stuff, right? But like obviously the white paper protest is, but a lot of the other ones aren't that politically motivated. This was last year too. You have the white guards who are getting taken away by the cops, which is pretty funny. So they all dressed up doing that. Because remember, this time last year, China had just gotten out of the COVID-19 lockdowns, right? So obviously people wanted ways to kind of express their discontent with the government. Shanghai was one of the worst cities when it comes to lockdown. I think people were locked down for 2-3 months at a time. So people were frustrated, right? Especially young people. That's why this year they don't want stuff to happen. And then there was Batman last year, which is pretty funny. I made a short this morning. It's pretty good. That Winnie the Pooh in the thumbnail is so salacious. Yeah. Am I getting Mandela affected? I swear I saw a video where someone was dressed as a Huawei triple fold phone. I don't think I saw that. One tall Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, the Winnie the Pooh is super tall. You had a bunch of people dressed as Winnie the Pooh. You had people dressed as Batman. You had people dressed as like the COVID test, fried chicken stall here. So funny. You know, it's just like all kinds of crazy stuff. Yeah, you got like, you have somebody doing a COVID swab test for the dinosaur. This is all last year. It's hilarious. Yeah, like the costumes are great. Those costumes make me realize not all Chinese have been totally brainwashed yet. Thank God. Yeah, no, it's super funny. There's more. So that was the Winnie the Pooh, right? This is so funny. It's such a tall Winnie the Pooh too, like someone mentioned in chat. Batman one is cool. Yeah. This is one of my favorite videos from last year. It's like a guy wearing this, I don't know what that mask is, but he's got the COVID test and he's like asking everybody to if you want to do it. So good. Like the people in Shanghai really have a sense of humor. I love it. This is, again, the white paper protest from last year. So you got, obviously some part of this, it kind of went out of hands, right? You have the Xi Jinping thing here. This is obviously not allowed. But this was outside of China. Oh, sorry, this was in LA. I thought this was in China. This was outside of China. Yeah, that makes more sense. I'm like, I don't think this is allowed to be inside China. You got the beer, Winnie the Pooh. You have the COVID guards again. This is, I think he's cosplaying as Lu Xun, who is like a Chinese scholar. And then somebody dressed as the Shanghai stock going down. That's pretty funny too. Barry James says, love you, why do mainland Chinese tourists act so horribly? It's because they're not really, they don't understand basic like morals and decency, and they really just think whatever they do, it's okay because they just want it. It's like selfishness, right? It's a combination of issues. So we got the COVID test as well from last year. This is pretty funny. And then you had that was the Shanghai stock. You have like red guards from the Mao Cultural Revolution. It's so creative. Some of these. This is Fat Ultraman. That's pretty good. This is like the police telling this. So that was a COVID test station that they did. It's so good. What's this? You have the Weibo censorship cosplay. You have the Chinese Wolf Warrior Wu Jing cosplay. The COVID swabs again. This one written in Chinese says, I should look at the people who travel to China. Yeah, I've done a video on those already. Yeah, it's crazy. It's only been a year, right? Jake says, David, do you think young people are becoming more conscious about the corruption, the bribing, and the censorship of the CCP? I think they're always aware of it. It's hard to speak out against it because when you do speak out, it makes things really, really difficult for your life. That test station guy is so funny. Yeah, it's hilarious. So going back to this year now, because people didn't listen, right? So when you tell them that you can't do something, they do it. So people started to go into this park. It's called Zhongshan Park, which is, like it's a park in Shanghai. And they started to sing, and they got the costumes on. One is dressed as poop. The other one is the poop emoji. This one is dressed as cockroach. Like people use Halloween as a form of protest, which is awesome. So this is happening tonight, or I guess in their time it'd be, well, it is tonight, right? Because it's 10 o'clock for us, 12 o'clock for us, it's 12 o'clock for them as well. So that's pretty cool. Oops. Some of the people, they went there despite cops' order not to, they still went in the dark just to, defy the order, I guess. You got the ghosts. It's pretty funny. You got Taylor Swift. Is that Kanye? Oh my god, somebody dressed as Chinese snack. Yeah, so this is all happening as we speak. It's in China right now. Chris McCabe says, so you think local authorities tolerate a little bit more since it's cloaked in a foreign celebration? Well, no, because last year they really didn't make it a foreign celebration. They were using very political, very Chinese politically inspired costumes. So even though it's a foreign holiday, what the Shanghai people have done is they turned it into a domestic holiday, localized it in a sense that it helped them to like express their frustrations with the country. There's a reason November 1st is called Hell Day. That's funny. Hello from Malaysia. Hello. Arjuna says, you look great. I want to marry you. I'm from China, but I'm married. I thought I saw Skibbity Toilet. I don't know. Is that Halloween? Yeah, it is Halloween. It's 12:19 a.m. there, so they just did this. Maybe it was deity making out with guys. I am reading this chat. Why is your face always breaking out? What do you have wrong with you? Just curious. You always seems to have things in your face. I don't know. Maybe I eat a lot of spicy food. Really like your content. Thank you. Thank you. Sounds like a feasible costume in China. Yeah. Okay, there's more. Oh my gosh. That's like a drink brand. It's a hamburger. Pretty cool. And then some guy dressed as a patient at an insane asylum, and he got taken away. In fact, actually, what happened was this is pretty interesting. So he dressed as a mental hospital patient, and then apparently there's a video here that I found, and here's the translation for it. So basically, this guy he was purchasing this costume for a mental asylum, like a patient costume on Taobao, which is like Chinese Amazon. And then the police found out and gave him a call and told him that he recently purchased this item from Taobao and told him best not to wear it in public because that would have a bad impact. It's so crazy. They can track what you purchased and then they can call you, tell you not to wear it. That's so crazy. Loy5 says, what's your favorite spicy dish? It's Chongqing chili chicken. And I went to this restaurant and they had this chili crisp thing. So I'll show you. It's actually a chili crisp snack. Something like this. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Okay, so this, you cook this, you stir fry it with some pork chowder, and it's delicious. It's absolutely amazing. It's probably really bad because this stuff probably has MSG and stuff in it, but it's just absolutely delicious. You can get this on like Yamibuy or Wii or something like that. It's like $5 a big pack. And here, let me grab it for you. I'll show you. Oh. All right, so I got this right here. This is like, this stuff you eat it with, wait, I just forgot my mic. Sorry, I don't know if that was really loud or not. Let me clip it on. Yeah, so you get this and then you make it with, you can eat this by yourself, right, by the way. It's pretty good. It's like a dry chili snack, but you cook this with pork chowder. It's one of the best things ever. Anyways, where were we? They're not chips. They're like chili crisps. Where's DK? I don't know where DK is. I miss him. I swear, if DK doesn't come in on a video, it means that the video is not doing too well. Because you got to have DK to give you that boost, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so back to this. Where are we? Okay, so some people in the park last night, or tonight, sorry, it's tonight, dressed as the Statue of Liberty, or Lady Liberty. And some other people, so here's the Lady Liberty here. Some people dressed as, I think it's a cosplay of the security guards. You have more than one cosplay of that. It's pretty funny. This woman here, so she's cosplaying a Chinese singer named Na Ying. And apparently if you are a lookalike, or if you look, you're trying to cosplay as one, then and you try to take photos with others, then they'll escort you out. What are your views on India? I think India is doing really good. India is such a big threat to China. Finally caught on live. Now I have to go to work. I'll keep it in the background. Thanks. Bro, why are you not disappear? Because I live in a free country. Someone is going to be dressed as those bags of chili crisps for Halloween. Can you make a Q&A video? I could, but I don't know. There's too many questions. It takes me too long to answer each one of them. I tried to do one before, but the questions needed like a 5-minute answer, and it's just kind of boring. Maybe DK is reassigned to garlic peeling. Oh, that's so sad. No, I saw his comment the other day. Actually, you know what I can do is I can show you. If I go to my comments here, let's see if I can do this. At DK. Is there a way to DKE something? No, never mind. I thought you could like search for DK. Oh, there we go. At DKEV9DG. Never mind, you can't do it. Jokes. Yeah, I was watching the Trump Joe Rogan podcast. That was pretty interesting. I don't know if you guys watched it. I honestly I wanted to hear the one from Kamala Harris, because I think then if you're somebody who's voting, I think Joe Rogan's podcast, you know, if they had both on, I don't think she's coming on, but if they had both on, it'd be a great opportunity for you to kind of figure out, if you haven't decided who you want to vote for, that is. Okay, so despite that, a lot of other places also tonight have people gathering in the rain, because I guess people just doesn't care anymore about defying the order of the police. Like, what are they gonna do? Arrest everybody? They can't do that. But I see less people wearing costumes, right? You still have these costumes. Like, these are fine because they're not politically motivated in most cases. But if you are wearing one, then it's problematic. But somebody dressed as Trump. This is hilarious. Oops. This is so cool. Like, honestly, it's hilarious. How Chinese people are so good at memes. I don't know. They missed the 10 line. Yeah, I think he needed to put more effort into his costume. Sugar Cookie says, what's your opinion about China? The Chinese government, very negative. Chinese people, pretty good. The dancing is the dancing is definitely on point. I agree. Grand Upper says, keep spreading the words, but Bud, Matt and Winston brought me here, China Center. Oh, thanks. Did they talk about me? Because I love those guys at the China show. They're great. They do a lot of great things. They really help people open up their eyes to the CCP, which is awesome. Yeah, thanks very much. Those guys are awesome too. Konada says, do you hate China? I don't hate China in the sense that, like, oh, you know, I hate the country. I hate the Chinese government. I don't like the Chinese Communist Party. I'm like, you know, there's a lot of things going on for China that's good. But what the CCP does is they basically use those to capitalize, to kind of like serve as the front for justifying all of the bad things that they do. That's hilarious to you? Yeah, it's funny. It's funny to me. I think people have a great sense of humor. Yeah, so here you have people dressed as cops. So that's a fake cop. And people are taking photo with the fake cop. Pretty good, pretty good. Oh, oops. Oh yeah, you had people dressed as Lenin and Stalin. Devin, thank you for the $2. Thank you very much. This is iconic. Stalin and Lenin in China on Halloween. That's pretty good. Oh man. What's your favorite story about China mismanagement? I think the economy, honestly. Like so for two iterations of the government, right? They managed to put the economy up pretty well, and then suddenly when Xi came into office, he's like, "No, we got to go back, right? We got to revert, like go the other way." And then now within a few years, the COVID obviously did the worst thing, and they just killed China's economy. Uh, what's your number one worry for Chinese people in their lives? I think it's just the fact that those that fought for the purpose, right? Free speech, religion, things like that. Hopefully that their sacrifices aren't, in vain, because I think at the end of the day, right? The problem is like a lot of people over the years, like 40, 50 years, have experienced a lot of problems that they kind of gave up. I'm talking like the Chinese people. So they think that nothing's going to change and things aren't going to get better. So I hope that those people can one day be able to have like I guess like a happy ending in the sense that something will happen, a dramatic change in China, that the CCP will fall, and then those people can see the light at the end of the tunnel. So I hope that happens. What are interesting subcultures in China that people generally don't know about? Well, Chinese subculture, if you're talking like modern subculture, you got like Chengdu rap, which is like Chinese rapping, uh, that started in city of Chengdu. You have like there's a lot, but there's also none. The reason none is because like anytime a subculture gets too big, it gets suppressed, right? It doesn't form anything that is too how would you say influential, right? So if you try to be influential, what they do is they suppress you, which is a really bad thing. It doesn't give people the confidence to start something new, right? Because so for example, right, in China you had first you had like the Chinese rap, and then people are like, oh, like the CCP is like, oh, it doesn't fit our standards, right? So they suppress that. Then you had Chinese stand-up comedy. And then because Chinese stand-up comedy, you're going to be touching a lot of political subjects, that's very sensitive. So they, essentially censored Chinese stand-up comedy. So now if you tell a stand-up show in China, you have to tell like politically correct jokes. Like, oh, want to hear a joke about, I don't know, the communist youth or something like that. It's like it defeats the point of jokes, because if you want to make them something funny, like the funniest comedians right now are Shane Gillis, right? Shane Gillis, Kill Tony, those guys, and they tell political jokes, like the Trump impersonation, the Biden impersonation. Whether you like SNL or not, their funniest skits are those that they impersonate the politicians. Like that's the fun thing about comedy, right? In my view, that is. I grew up watching people impersonate George Bush, Bill Clinton, um, things like that. Like, can you imagine that happening with Xi Jinping? David, I believe they call it trap music. Is it trap? Chinese trap? I don't know. Uh, Abel says, David, this is a bit of a controversial one, but do you think there is a possibility that China is responsible for cloud seeding for cause chaos in the Philippines as a way of fighting back silently? I really don't know. I don't have an answer for that because I really don't know what they're doing. They could be doing a lot of stuff. I know they're doing cloud seeding for getting rid of the smog in Beijing. Excuse me, but I'm not sure if it's being used as like a weather weapon or something. It can feel that way even in America in the poorest, most ghetto or dueling banos type area. It sucks to be stuck in dead end places like that, like being stuck in Uzumaki. Uh, I'm not really understanding the question, but I think if you mean like just people not having hope, being stuck in some bad places, yeah, I think so. That feeling is common, right? But I think that the ultimate difference is what causes those feelings. Is it personal, like you don't have access to things, or is it because the government is politically suppressing you? I think that's the difference. But you're right, the feeling is the same. David, what is the thought about BRICS? BRICS is funny. BRICS is actually pretty funny because you have India, Russia, and China who want to all be like the number one in the system. And they're like, imagine, okay, so they're talking about the BRICS currency, right? What would a BRICS currency look like? Is it going to be something that stems out of the Chinese RMB or the Indian currency or the Russian currency, right? Okay, so if you do that, that means that country must have at least the most overwhelming, currency access. And the other point is like if you want a BRICS currency, you're trying to defeat the dollar. De-dollarization is impossible right now. There's not a single currency that that's already existing that's more powerful than the dollar. And you want to make a new BRICS currency. Like, what value does a BRICS currency have? Well, it must be built on the fact that you have the economies to back it up, right? Okay, sure, India is doing pretty well. China is still considered number two. Russia's economy, you could say, is declined because of the war, but it's not really, at the worst of its time yet. So sure, you have the economic capability, but we've never seen, in practice that is, that India wants to usurp the D-dollar, right? Or that Russia and China can do that. They haven't demonstrated concrete ability. There's been talks of the BRICS currency, but everybody, like all the people on the inside of the BRICS knows that it's impossible, right? The only reason why the yuan was being used is because they have no access to the dollar anymore, right? Like if you had access to the dollar, you won't be using the yuan. That's just simple as that. So this whole talk with the BRICS currency thing, it's ridiculous. Yeah, it's just not achievable. And India has its own geopolitical ambitions too, right? India wants to lead the global south. So India is fighting with China for that part. Russia has its own agenda. And China has its own agenda too. So it's like nobody is really in the BRICS for the sake of being in the BRICS. They all want something selfish for themselves. And countries like Africa, Brazil, South Africa, Brazil, the new people that they added, like Iran and I think Azerbaijan or something like that. There's a lot of different ones they added. None of those countries are really economic powerhouses, right? And not geopolitical powerhouses either. So it's like them trying to go head to head with the G20 or the G7. In theory, yes, they can, but in practice, they're not really achieving anything. All right, so we got the Stalin, and the. I wonder if we'll see a Marx tonight, but yeah. So in this video, everybody's like screaming freedom. So the people are broadcasting live at the Zhongshan Park, and they're like screaming, "We want freedom! We want freedom!" Yeah. So I think this is why the Chinese government is so afraid of people, attending these events because they know that it's going to get really bad. It's going to turn into the white paper protest, and that's not what they want. So that's the bad thing. Wake says, thanks for all the info you put out there about the CCP. It's invaluable and hard to find a lot of what goes on in there. Oh, thanks very much. Axel says, can you talk about the internal resistance among youth, no work culture? Yeah, so China has this thing where especially young people, fresh graduates of high school and college, is something called lying flat, which basically like it's literally like you want to just lie on the ground flat down. You don't want to do anything to contribute to society because you don't think that society can contribute back or pay you back for the effort that you put in. So might as well not do anything. You can just sit around. You don't want to have kids. You don't want to buy a house. You don't want to work a good job. You just kind of want to cruise by in your life, right? Because people don't see the purpose of trying hard since, you could be competing against hundreds of thousands of people for the same career. You could be competing against a person who has a strong political background, and so there's no way that you can get promoted over them. There's a lot of issues that they think, it's out of their control. So why try when you can just lie around and do nothing, right? So that's the resistance from the youth that Axel was talking about. So people are unwilling to contribute to the efforts of society because they think that the society won't give back to them. Uh, Aloe says, I want to know your opinions about pepperoni pizza roll. Okay, so my opinion about pizza rolls in general is that it's inferior to pizza. And even if I had to like, you know, eat pizza roll versus like a really good pizza roll versus a really bad slice of pizza, I would never go for the pizza roll. I just think the concept. So the reason is I grew up eating like Hot Pockets. I think that's what they're called, right? Hot Pockets, which is like basically it's like pepperoni wrapped in like like a it's like an inverted pizza basically. In school, because like you know parents are working, they didn't have time to pack my lunch, so they just give me like 2 Hot Pockets that I go to school with, and I like microwave it. I hated that stuff. I ate so much of it. I think I ate Hot Pockets like pretty much every day for lunch during school for like 3 years straight. Until I was so fed up with it, I started saying, you know what? Oh, the reason why I started making sandwiches is because we had this French guy in our school. He brought in a ham, cheese, and mayonnaise sandwich, and he's like, "You want to try this?" And I was like, I was pretty young. I think I'd only been maybe like 13 or 12, maybe. And I tried that. So that was my first time having a sandwich with mayo, ham, and cheese. And then I tasted that combination for the first time. I was like, dang, I've never had something so good in my life. So since then, I was like, okay, I'm only packing sandwiches. Because you know, like when you're Asian, when you're young, you don't want to bring like rice and fish and stuff, right? Like one time I brought these like 1,000-year-old eggs, and people were like screaming because it smelled. I was like, this tastes so good. Why are you screaming? I put them on like a sushi too. So since then, I like gave up on bringing Asian food. So I just made sandwiches every day. And I go to like a deli and I get like different cuts of meat, you know, cheese, all those things, and make sandwiches. And yeah, I don't know. Pizza rolls I can't eat them anymore. I'll eat pizza any time of the day, right? But I just won't eat pizza rolls. Are you willing to contribute to the question of what your opinions are on pizza rolls? Yeah, I answered that. Is Chinese economy really going to collapse? And if it does, doesn't that mean countries will be affected by it as well? Yeah, so, well, will it collapse? I think it will. Will it be affected globally? I think it depends on what. Because, so if it's the manufacturing sector that collapses, then sure, that's going to be a huge problem. But if it's like the internal economy, I'm not so sure. Because China's done steps to insulate or internalize its connection to the rest of the world. So when they do shut down, I actually think it's going to be less connected than before. Yeah. Okay, so we still have a little bit of time, so I want to talk a little bit about this topic, which is, I think, very important too. So this is the Communist Party meeting in Vietnam. So this is Vietnamese news. So this guy here, he on the left is Zhang Youxia. He's from China. He's the vice chairman of the Central Military Commission. So you could call him the second, in command of the Chinese military. And he went and met with the general secretary of the Vietnamese Communist Party, right? So the supreme leader of Vietnam. And the way that he's seated, it's very interesting because this has not happened before. He got the same level of reception that Xi Jinping would, being like not on the same level as them, right? And what's weird is that the Vietnamese media has largely been reporting on this as if he's like the leader. And this guy, Zhang Youxia, he has received so much attention recently since summer, basically, summer of this year. It's really strange to me. I did a video on this, so you can go check it out, about how Xi Jinping's military power might be shaking or he's losing military power, and the man responsible is him, this guy here. Okay, because like right now, it's hard to explain, but to me, it feels like she's losing the military control and this guy's actually in charge. Because you're not the second in command of the military. You go to Vietnam and you get treated like the king, right? Like the general secretary of China. It shouldn't happen like that. And what's even more weird is that so I went and searched for the reporting on this. Uh, there is a reporting of this. There's only one mention of Xi Jinping, which is that when they were talking about, oh yeah, he sends his regards, and he says the Vietnamese sends it back, right? So that it's mentioned once. But everywhere else, it seems like he is like in control of just talking about the politics side of things, but also the military side of things. And this is a video of them meeting.
在越共中央总部，越共中央总书记、中央军委书记苏林会见了中共中央军委副主席张又侠。苏林总书记高度评价越中两国。
Okay, something even more weird too is that the Chinese defense minister wasn't even there. Neither is the second vice chair of the Communist Central Military Commission. So he's just by himself there. I just find it super strange because now it seems like whatever's happened since the summer of this year, Xi Jinping's military side has rapidly shifted. Again, go watch my video recently about this. But I think something big has happened in the Chinese military. And I don't doubt for a second that we'll see more stuff coming in the days to prove that point. Because I've asked so many Chinese, like China watchers, Chinese scholars that I know, everybody thinks this is weird. Because it's like you're, okay, sure, you don't go to another country and pretend to be like you're the number one of that country unless you actually have the authority to do so. And it, to me, seems like he does. From Angelo, hello, my name is Angelo. I'm from Bulgaria. Would you be able to make an episode on what you think is positive? It would be a good to policies implement to the Western country. I'm not so sure if I understand that question. Those chairs, throne room aesthetics. Joe says, unrelated but relevant to current events, are you worried that the U.S. will be less supportive of Taiwan if you get domestic chip production up? I don't think so, because I don't think the TSMC headquarters in Arizona, or not headquarters, the factory in Arizona is going to meet the full demands of chip supplies. Because you got to remember, chips, there's a lot of issues with the reason why TSMC hasn't been able to export its technologies domestically, right? Because there's a lot of factors in there. So I really don't think so. From Ohio, would you want to live on your knees while gasping for breath due to polluted air? I think Malaysia's already joined BRICS. What's your comment on that? I don't think BRICS is that useful, to be honest. They've been around for how many years now? They've done exactly zero things concretely. Does North Korea have boots on the ground in Russia? What's your opinion? Yeah, I think they do. I think South Koreans have confirmed it. The Americans have confirmed it. I think even Ukraine has confirmed it, right? They are engaged in combat. I think they're supposed to deploy this week, actually. Yeah, I think so. What do you think about the recent meeting between India and China and Russia? I think, so right now Xi Jinping has a lot on his plate and he needs to manage the relationship with India. He doesn't want India to suddenly, claim its borderlands while China is doing something on the eastern side. So I think he needs to ensure that Modi, like India and the Modi government isn't going to do something. What do you think of the downfall of the Chinese-American relations? I think it's inevitable. Sooner or later, you had Trump obviously changing the perception, but sooner or later, you're going to have a president that comes in and say, this isn't right. And that's essentially what happened, right? From Empty Basilic says, what is the Chinese-born American stance about China? What do Chinese people think of them? I think most Chinese Americans are educated, like culturally, they probably don't have the same mindset as mainland Chinese people. But some of the older generations, I think they have less understanding of the Western mindset, whereas the ABCs, right, the American-born Chinese people, I think they're more in tune with Western values. And so when you talk to them about the difficulties, the danger of the CCP, I think they're more understanding, whereas the mainland Chinese are not. David, do you think China will still punish companies supplying counterfeit and replica items or no? Well, they have tried, but they haven't done anything over the years. What do you think about ASML? I think the Dutch company has, I think they suffered a lot of like financial problems since trying to combat with, supplying the machines to China, having to listen to the American like restrictions on Chinese exports, all of those things. Yeah, I think they're probably not that happy because you lose a big customer for the sake of geopolitical purpose, which is like obviously that's the right thing to do, but I don't think they're very happy about it. Uh, what do you do when your family likes to send CCP propaganda videos on WhatsApp group? Send my videos to them. But I guess maybe if you don't speak Chinese, then it's a little bit difficult. Taiwan is the world leader in lithography tech in chip making. They won't export the technology of chip making that easily. There's only 2 existing plants in the world capable of lithography tech. Yeah, sure. That's probably one of the reasons. Yeah. Wait a minute. I just joined. What did you say about India? I'm saying that India is wait, which part about the BRICS or about just in general? Because I think India is trying to be the leader of the global South. I think India has a better name than China when it comes to relationships with the West. And India is somebody that really wants both sides wants to win over. So I don't think China wants to start something major with India right now. In fact, I think China wants to maintain this so-called friendship facade through the BRICS system that they want to keep India at bay, but also not too far that they go to the United States. Solon G says, David, do you love me? I think I love you. The Dutch are cool people. Yeah, the Dutch are cool people. What do you think about Tencent investing massive amount of money into American video game companies? Well, they've been doing that for a very long time. They had a lot of money, so they started doing that. Would you trust any food products from China purchased in the US? I used to buy a lot of hot pot items, but it feels like it's too risky now. Yeah, I try to buy as little Chinese food as possible if I can. I'll buy like Korean, Japanese. But sometimes, I still buy some stuff from China. I think it's unavoidable if you like Chinese food and you still want to buy. Like fresh, products, right? Like veggies or meat, you can obviously buy local. Things like snacks and stuff like that you can avoid. You can buy Korean, Japanese. Sauces you can buy Korean, Japanese. In terms of like hot pot, they have alternatives. They have American versions. They have Taiwanese versions. So I think you can avoid a lot of that. Special sauces, right? If you like lagama, chili sauce, or things like that, that's obviously unavoidable. Why does China use cheap construction and tofu drag walls? They put chemicals in food. That's just because they want to screw over people. They don't care if people get sick, if people are endangered. It's not really their issue, right? They just want to make money. Since China is really not stable after so many things that happened, what's your opinion on the outcome of 2025? Like next year, what's the future going to change in China? I think the economy is going to get worse. It's not going to recover. That's for sure. Mark my word for this. China's not going to get an economic recovery, a bounce back, right? It's not going to happen. I think that's a big thing to watch for. Love your content. I never realized how the citizens of China are harassed. It's disgusting, and thank you for exposing the of this all. Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for your kind words. Just getting here. What's this video? It's a live stream. Sriracha hot sauce. I think Sriracha is not a Chinese company, right? I thought it's an American company, is it not? I feel like Chinese imported products to Europe because of the regulations. Here, it's much safer than in the US. So yeah, actually, you're right. Some of the imports that you get from China are better products than we will find in China because they actually give the better quality ones to Western countries. What's your opinion on Chinese control influence on Vietnam? I think that Vietnam is a big country that they want to win over. They still kind of have that tie with the communist parties, but overall, I think it's Vietnam has more say now to who they want to partner with than before. Uh, David Zhang, I love Korean food, but have you noticed how much red pepper flakes come from China? You can only find Korean versions offline in Korean stores. Yeah, you have to find them. You have to read the labels on them. What's your opinion on the future of China Africa's relationship? I think African countries are starting to realize how bad China's influence has been over the years. That recent case, the video in Senegal, no, not Senegal. What country was it? Ghana. In Ghana, right? The illegal mining plant injured and a lot of lives were lost. So I think that is very much telling. The people are very angry at what they're doing, right? So because like if you really think about it, the CCP is doing this modern slavery in Africa. They're going after countries who don't have the economic means to survive, and they see China's helping hand. They think that they're helping the people in Africa, but in reality, China wants the resources. China wants the influence. Just a random guy says, "Do you watch Serpent ZA?" I do watch him. Yeah, he's my one of my favorite YouTubers for sure. What do you think about China cutting off adoptions to America? What will happen to all the children? Yeah, well, China's losing population, right? So they don't want people to keep getting out of China because look at all the people that get adopted to America or other countries. They live a much better life than they would back in China. But then China's losing population a lot. They're declining population. So I don't think they necessarily want more people to leave China. Uh, a Sriracha is based in California. Yeah, Sriracha is based in California. You're not in China reporting this stuff, are you? No, I'm not in China. Sriracha is created by a Chinese man, but the Vietnamese rightfully claimed it, believe it was originally created there. Interesting. I don't like sriracha. I don't know what it is. I don't like sour hot sauces because a lot of these like American hot sauces are sour. I don't like the sour stuff. I like the oily based kind of like spicy, salty, sweet. It's fine, but sour I can't stand it. Uh, as an American, do you think it's safe to travel to Hong Kong for tourism right now or sometimes in the future? I think it's safe to travel, but I don't know because Hong Kong you won't see much difference than a mainland China city anymore. It's not the Hong Kong of yesterday anymore. What do you think if KMT won civil war in China? I don't know. I never really thought about that. I don't know what would happen. I already talked about BRICS, so you can just go back and watch that. When China collapses, how much do you think it will cost to clean up environmentally? I think honestly, if China collapsed, I think we're still a long way from solving the issue. Like, because China has a lot of issues with their water system too. A lot of the rivers are contaminated so much. Like sriracha is a sour hot sauce brand to me. Sriracha. What's the other one? The uh, the stuff that you get at like Mexican restaurants, Valentina sauce. It's not really a Mexican restaurant, like a Mexican hot sauce, but it's like always there when I go to some of them. Uh, I actually, you know what? In terms of like Mexican style, like chilies or like salsa verdes and like a hot salsa kind of thing, I'm okay because the sourness comes from the tomato. I'm okay, but it's just in like hot sauce. TB, thank you so much for the $20. Thanks you, thank you. Tabasco, that's the one. Yeah, Tabasco. I hate Frank's hot sauce is also sour. Yeah, yeah. That's why I'm not really into the whole like buffalo chicken type of thing. Uh, Zhang, I'm from Hong Kong. Does the CCP apply to me? Wait, no, it's coming. You got to be careful.
I thought that China had a river that was dangerously low and you could see all the contaminants in the water. And the water was a neon green. It looked disgusting. Yeah, China, I have a video come out for this, but China just dumps garbage and like sewage into their water system, like these rivers and stuff, right? And they don't care. Like factories would just dump all their disgusting, you know, things into the river. Nobody cares. Most American hot sauces are made with white vinegar. Really? I hate American hot sauces like you too, David. Too vinegar tasting to me, but sriracha tastes very garlicky to me, which is why I like it. Interesting, we taste different. Yeah, I also there's like sambaolic, which is like another. It's a Southeast Asian hot sauce. That one's I also can't stand that either. There's like a vinegar based like a pickling hot sauce from Chongqing, China, which I also can't really stand. Are you from Shanghai? No, I'm not from Shanghai. You meet Ligma yet? No. Who's Ligma? I remember I went to this barbecue restaurant in Dallas, and they literally had 18 different hot sauces, right? Kind of like the hot ones, but there was like 18 bottles of hot sauce that you could try, and then so I would like try every a dab of every single one of the hot sauce, and they all just tasted the same to me. They all just tasted like sour, spiciness, sour vinegar spiciness. So that's what I was like. Yeah, you know what? No, don't ask about ligma. Yeah, I realized after I said it, I was like, oh no. I think my brain was turned off. It's been an hour, so maybe I will end the stream here because I'm getting hungry. I need to eat some food for lunch. For some reason, talking about hot sauce makes me want to eat spicy food now, but I should probably lay it off because I keep getting breakouts. I'm pretty sure it's from spicy food. What's your favorite childhood food? Show you. It's this thing. Looks like this. So it's like basically Chinese hamburger. Inside you have not marinated. What you call that? Like braised pork or braised beef or lamb. You stuff it into this like white, fluffy, crispy bread, and they what they do is like they chop up the meat, right, and then they pour the braised sauce on top, so it's like really nice and juicy. And then if you get the pork one, they'll chop some of the fat on there too. So it's a really nice combination of. It's like a crossover between a hamburger and like a carnitas taco, right? Because the bread tastes more like a corn tortilla, but obviously it's not corn, so it's a little smoother. It's flour, right? And the taste profile is more like carnitas, but the 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 looks of it, right? The whole package looks more like a hamburger. It's really good. Yeah, if you got like a Xi'an famous food, or you got like a Xi'an store, they usually sell this. Pizza. I'll tell you guys a story about pizza. So the reason why I'm so obsessed with pizza, it's because when I was young, I'll try to find this too. If I can find it, I will show you. So Pizza Hut. I don't know if I ever told this story, but they used to have this commercial for like the pull apart. Is it this? It's like a very old commercial for pull apart pizza. I think it's this one. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh my God, it's this. So I watched this commercial from Pizza Hut. So this is Chinese Pizza Hut. Okay. And then I was watching this as like an 11-year-old or like 10-year-old, not even younger, maybe even younger actually. But like that was the first time I ever saw a commercial for pizza. And I was like, oh my God, you can pull apart the cheese? It's crazy. And that's when I got so into pizza. Like I was actually crying, I remember, because I couldn't get pizza because there was no like pizza restaurants where I was. So that's why I fell in love with pizza. Hand toss or other types. So I like Detroit style too. I like, obviously living near New York, I eat a lot of New York style pizza. Prince Street pizza is one of my favorite. It's a tourist trap, but it's a really good tourist trap. Don't go to Joe's. Joe's is all right. There's like so many pizza better than Joe's. Greenpoint has a lot of good pizza stores. I really like this. I'm pretty sure you can only find this in Canada, in like the eastern part of Canada. It's called Pizza Pizza. So Pizza, after 11 p.m. at night, they have this deal, which you get an extra large pepperoni pizza for $11, and you put like this like really good sweet chili thing on top of it. It's like a sprinkle, like a powder kind of thing. Oh my God, it's the best thing ever. Some chili flakes. Detroit deep dish, yeah, Detroit deep dish is pretty good to me. I bet you got the best Sofa King suction in the Northern Hemisphere. Philly cheesesteak is yeah. You know what? When I went down to Philly, and I thank God I researched before I went down because I was about to go to like, what was it? The two very generic ones that are like next to each other, but they're just really not that good. I went to John's Pork, which is a really good one. In North Philly, there's like a few that are really good, but yeah, Philly cheesesteak is great. Pizza is best food. Where are you from? I'm from China. Well, I live in the U.S. now, but I was from China. Hand toss. Well, so the thing is Domino's, right? Domino's is like Domino's, Little Caesars, Pizza Hut, Papa John's, all great. Like pizza is pizza, right? You know, like even if frozen pizza or any kind of pizza, like gas station pizza, whatever, I'll eat it. It doesn't matter to me. Like I grew up eating 7-Eleven pizza. It's the greatest thing ever. Why? What happened to John Pork? You ate durian? China has some really weird stuff. Like they got lattes that's like got soy sauce in it. Durian pizza is probably one of them. I can't stand Hawaiian pizza. Pineapple does not belong on pizza. I don't care what you say. In fact, let me make a poll about this. I'm very interested to find how many of my viewers are maniacs and psychopaths for liking pineapple on pizza. No, this one. All right. That's it. Do you just pineapple pizza is fine if you get extra cheese. I don't know, man. It's just I don't know what it is. Pineapple is just fruits don't belong on pizza, you know? Even okay, so even though well, it's tomato a fruit, tomato is a plant. Depends on how you see it, but I don't know, man. It's something about pineapple. I'd even be okay with apples on pizza. Or like, what's another fruit? Yeah, I think apple. Apple is the only thing I'll stand. That's so weird, man. I swear Asians have the weirdest things going. Oh, corn on pizza is also kind of gross too. How old are you, my guy? I'm almost 30. Tomato, corn, cucumber, pumpkins are all fruits. Yeah, like those things you mentioned, I can't imagine them on pizza. Okay, the thing is, pizza for me is it's more like it's junk food, right? Like in most cases, like I don't eat pizza because it's like fine dining or whatever. Like I eat pizza because I want to feel good. So you got to put the pepperoni on there. You got to it's the basics, right? Pepperoni is fine. Sausage is fine. Cheese, right? Bacon, anything like I don't know, just onion, mushroom, pepper. All that's all fine to me. Olives, I don't mind olives. I think olives are okay. Hawaiian toast, burger pizza. So, I don't know if you guys will have this around where you live, but so they have these, what are they called? Doner pizzas. Like a doner pizza. They got the white sauce, the hot sauce, the doner meat, right? All that on top of a pizza. That's actually pretty good. All right, I will end the stream here then. I'm gonna go get some food to eat. Maybe I'll get pizza, and who knows. But hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you in the next video. Check out the shorts that we made, and check out davidzhang.net for some merch if you haven't already. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.